Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome to the late Apex. Today we'll be discussing everything that's going on in the world of sim racing over the last 7 days. Most notably, iRacing's development update, giving us an idea of what is coming in the Season 3 build, as well as future projects as well. But we've also got plenty of other news as well when it comes to Asetek, when it comes to the Logitech McLaren G Challenge, talking about F1 25, Asetek EVO, and everything that's going on with the various Apex brands. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me is David Sampson. And David, how are you this Thursday afternoon?
I cannot complain, yes. I wasn't almost late again.
No.
I was here seconds in time.
I think to the viewer, we only exist, well, you exist a bit more, but I only exist on this monitor.
Correct.
So as long as I'm in front of the camera during this time, what happens elsewhere in my life, it doesn't matter. Like it's like if a tree falls down, if a Sam
and Sam's not there to broadcast it, does it even happen?
Yeah, like does he exist?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm fine being that to the viewer. So as long as we're here, I think it's all good.
We're here.
Yeah.
Morning to everyone. Morning. Where in the world are you? Morning. Antian in chat. Not sure.
US.
Correct. I heard Thomas as well.
Yes. This episode is sponsored by Apex Racing Academy, by the way. Do check out apexracingac.com in order to get faster on iRacing. But let's talk about iRacing and their development update. We've been waiting for this, even though I think it does come this time of season, every single season. I feel like I was waiting for this one a little bit more. I'm not quite sure. But it's good news for us because it's plenty to talk about. In terms of this season, what tracks are being added? The new track, there's some rescans we'll get onto in a bit, but the new track is The Bend.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. It's been, well, iRacing haven't hidden the fact they've scanned this and it's been coming. I come back to my age-old point. Are we able to sell a track at mass like we used to? Don't feel like it, but hopefully this finds its place. I've heard nothing but good things about the track. You know more about fringe tracks than I do.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it in terms of supercars. It is on the supercars schedule. It's hosted, is it not Asian Le Mans series, but like, yeah, it's one of those fairly significant sort of continental series. And it's a big circuit, and it's quite a new circuit as well. I think it's only about 10 years old. The full version is 7.77 kilometers, which is the second longest permanent circuit in the world, only behind the Nordschleife. And so it is vast. There's lots of different layouts. It's really designed to be catering for all different categories. And I think it's sort of got a similar design to some of these resort tracks you sort of see, where they really have been designed taking inspiration from other circuits which exist and taking corners from those tracks. To me, though, it looks very soulless. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's in a big old field. There is some elevation change, but I fear a long circuit is going to take a long time to learn. It's
Sure.
not got much real world relevance apart from supercars. And the trackside scenery, which I do think is very important, is non-existent.
Does mean good FPS though.
There's a lot of track to render though, right?
True. Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. The supercar guys and all the esport leagues around it, I think that's going to be great for them. But yeah, I just don't know how many new tracks have taken off since. I mean, we're just getting very far from the boom of the pandemic. But no, I'm excited. As you mentioned as well, we've got lots of rescans, lots. Notably, the one I'm looking forward to probably is Sonoma. And I've had it pop up in my Discord a few times today. Will it be green?
So this is the question that I asked Lewis. It's a question that Jamie asked me. Everyone is. I thought this was just me who cared, because I've made this point before. I think iRacing, an update that I would include is seasons. I think we should have different seasons. I think with Road America, for example, with the trees, you should be able to have the trees as green or as orange or as completely bare. And I think it would be really cool to see those different things. And Sonoma's absolutely the same. Some of the year it's very sandy. Some of the year it's very green.
Yeah, I mean, in my head, it's going to be sandy. I can't think of a single sim that's ever made it green. But when I Google Sonoma and look at track pictures, it's green. So I
guess
don't
it
know.
depends when the races are held, right?
Yeah, true. I suppose that's the leaning factor.
Well, obviously, iRacing, it covers a lot of series. They could go for the NASCAR. They could go for...
I feel like that's how... What was its... I don't know how much it was used, but yeah, the NASCAR layout was super popular back in when I joined iRacing. We've got some more tracks being scanned. Iowa, Richmond, Sonoma, as we mentioned, Gateway, Charlotte, and North Wilkesboro.
And the Wilkesboro one, I'm not totally familiar, but that's the one from like the 1980s, which they scanned.
Resurrected or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So they brought it back from the 1980s, but then they actually rebuilt it in real life. So now they got the real life scan, like the 2025 scan from reality, which is quite cool. That iRacing, and I think Dale Earnhardt was quite significant in terms of bringing that back as well. In terms of the refreshes, they have COTA.
This is the art.
Yes,
art
update. It will look different, but the base scan is the same. So COTA, which I think was added to the sim in about 2015, so it has been about 10 years. Not much has changed, though, in terms of the trackside scenery, as far as I'm aware, though. Darlington, Daytona.
Feels like we've had a art update already for Daytona.
Yeah.
Or is it just curb updates? It's hard to know.
No, there was definitely one in about 20... I want to say 2021.
Right, okay.
Because I do camera packs, and I had to adjust a lot of the cameras because of the new lights which were around the track. Indianapolis, which feels like we had the rescan there recently as well. Lime Rock Park. We had the new scan of that in about 2019, I think.
Phoenix. That'll be good, because it does. Last time I drove that, it did feel dated as hell.
But we have the new Phoenix, right? Because they changed the start line.
Yep. Yeah, obviously we've got that situation with Indy. You're right. It wasn't that long ago. We got the rescan, but I feel like maybe these art updates are just taking a step forward. Like they're able to produce these now a lot quicker, so it's a lot cheaper.
Sure.
So even if they're updating a new scan, I think it's worthwhile. I wasn't a fan of them initially, but now, what is it? VIR, Road America, Sebring,
Road Atlanta.
They look good. Like once you've had let time to wash over and you've done some laps, and then you see footage of how it used to be, you're like, okay, yeah, this is good.
I'm a big fan of them. Texas was the last one. There's plenty more that they're working on, but none of the others are coming this season. In terms of the new tracks, unfortunately, I mean, the Bend is the only one. So I was hoping for Miami, but apparently that is being delayed because of they basically like took elements of the real-life F1 race, because it only hosts that race across the year. I think that's the only weekend that it actually hosts anything. So they've got some images, or maybe they actually went there to get some data.
Some last-minute data they want to add, yeah.
Exactly, so that they'll implement that. So that's sort of the reason for that. Mexico City is likely for Season 4.
Excellent.
I'll be interested to see how they implement the altitude, because that's a big thing at Mexico City. You have to run max downforce because the air is so thin. I was disappointed that there's no Crofts, of course we host the Apex Racing
So
Touring Car Britain.
Won't be on the TCR schedule this season.
And the drivers are staging a revolt against Spa as well. They're like, no, we don't want Spa. It's like, come on, guys.
Do they want me to pick instead?
What would you pick?
What is this, TCR?
TCR.
And what have we already had? Snetterton, Silverstone,
Well, it's all the
Brands.
BTCC circuits we're going to already.
And Spa is allowed because it went there.
Just because British GT, I think, has gone there in the past.
I would like to see Brands again, but GP layout this time.
But we've got that at the end of the year.
Serious? What, the GP?
Yeah, because BTCC uses both, doesn't it?
I don't know what to pick.
You're not, of course, someone might say, "I'll do a British circuit like Cadwell." No, we're not doing Cadwell. It's not like we've got 40 of these cars. We're not getting them around Cadwell.
Thruxton?
Duxton's already done that.
I don't know then.
Yeah.
I don't know what's on the schedule.
So yeah, there are no other British circuits, I think, besides Cadwell. So someone in chat saying Knockhill, that's on the schedule already against all the BTCC circuits. So yeah. I think Spa was a nice thing to do, but everyone's like, no. And when I say everyone, I mean 2 or 3 people.
Anton in chat saying, Daytona update. Now instead of less than 100 FPS and stutters in one corner, we can get them all over the track. I really do hope it fixes. It feels like the optimization at that track. I feel any tracks where you recross over the ability to see everybody on track, you know, like
Okay, sure.
where you've got, yeah.
If you're going through T1, you can see drivers go through the second horseshoe and on the turn through oval, and the cars behind you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to fix it, but Daytona's a really peeve point for me, especially now with debris and rain and night and lighting changes. If you get a slightly wet track that's used with lots of debris down at night and the lights are on, I mean, it's quite bad. Like, not joking, in spectate mode during the Daytona 24, we had this exact situation, night, rain, debris, remember? My computer in replay mode, sure, I turned down some of the settings in replay mode, but I hit 9 FPS.
Wow.
Only for a little bit, but 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we definitely do need some help with the track. It's the only track ever over my years of racing that made me feel a little ill. We did a 6-hour race it was just like a couple of years ago, me and Mark, I'd gone through so many FPS swings while I was driving. We were doing 3 hours each. I just didn't. I felt a bit, not motion, I suppose the closest feeling is motion sick. But yeah, I'm interested to see how many times they change the curb at the bus stop. Yeah. I think the new one's radically different.
Yeah, I think they're really tall now, aren't they? So yeah, that will be a new physical deterrent.
Tegan chat saying iRacing should have all the F1 tracks, in my opinion. I mean,
be nice.
It would be nice.
I mean, I could do. Well, actually, no. I was going to say I could do without Qatar. I think Qatar would be a lot of fun. We went through this. Check out our thing on what circuits should iRacing add. It was on there a couple of weeks ago.
Singapore and Azerbaijan for me, 100%. Sure, Bahrain, like it's missing, but I want them to much more.
Sure. So yeah, watch for that one. In terms of cars,
yep.
We have got the Ferrari 296 Challenge coming.
So not just a setup called challenge.sto, we're actually getting a car. I did not expect this because obviously many people wonder why we run the Ferrari Fix series in iRacing, but there is a series, IRL. I think it is a support series on the IMSA schedule where you run the Ferrari 296 Challenge. And obviously we've always had the infamous Challenge setup, but now we have the full car. So I'm really excited. More powerful, less downforce, and obviously it is getting this new, we'll get into that, but new time model. I pray they're listening. They have listened to a few, and I don't want much for Christmas, but please don't make it D-Class.
Oh, it is. They've already stated it's D-Class.
Yay. They can still fix it. It's their game. They can unstate it.
I think you're going to need to. Why don't you want it to be D? Just because it's going
there's
to be rubbish
no.
driving standards.
Yeah, I didn't mind. Classes have never meant anything to me. An A is no better than a C.
Yeah.
But a D,
Sure.
you're built different.
Like there's you can't get relegated from a D.
Correct. If you're just like doing F4 and that's all you like doing, SR doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. And I didn't realize this until many years into it. Same with Throwfix. If that's all you're, especially now it's getting its own car, if your car is this Ferrari challenge and you like driving it, then just going to send it.
Sure.
So yeah, when I take part in my A license and I'm like trying to keep my car scratch free and these boys are 11 wide, I'm like, all right, guys, I'm not doing this. But yeah, what do you think? Was you expecting this car? Because we've known about this car for many years. Like
they have been saying, they said it a couple of builds ago. Oh well, we are working on a new Ferrari as well, and everyone was like, "What could it be? Could it be a classic F1 car?" I think the 296 Challenge was one of the front runners. I mean, it's a bit meh. Are we gonna have to? We're gonna have to buy it separate, right? It's
100%.
Yeah.
This will be a big deal with Ferrari for sure.
Yeah.
And it is a series, right? We're not talking about just buying a car. This is an IRL series that runs. I do wonder. When anyone asks me, "Oh, what car should I buy?" I used to be like, "Oh, Ferrari or BMW," because you got the BMW. You do the BMW Challenge. Like BMW always had its own races, which it doesn't anymore. Ferrari, you have Ferrari Fix. So if you buy the Ferrari, you can run Ferrari Fix. You can run Fanatec GT3 Fix. You can run IMSA. You can run GT. It's a pretty diverse car, and you can run an endurance. Now, I mean, why on earth would you buy the? I don't like the Ferrari GT3. And obviously, this is a different car. I am tentatively excited for this car. I don't know how sales will be.
Sure.
And that is really...
Well, it's sort of unusual that you actually have to buy a D-class car.
Correct.
Like a lot of the D-class cars are free.
Especially that you can't take through
Yeah.
with you. Man, I wish it didn't have... When I heard more power, less downforce, I was like, oh, just take away ABS and we've got a race on. But no, I mean... Yeah, let's see how it does. It can't be free. No way. Rookie stuff is free. I get what you're saying. Yeah. It is unusual.
But yeah, it'll definitely be paid, surely. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. We've got the Gen 4 NASCARs, which are like the NASCAR from the Cup cars from the early 2000s, I think.
Right.
I think we accidentally already have one because I think ARCA run like 10-year-olds, 20-year-old like NASCAR Cup cars, I think.
Right.
And so they like have one, but like it's not a Gen 4 car. It's like a Gen 4 car, but 20 years later. Yeah. But they've got a proper Gen 4 one now. So do you have any nostalgia for NASCAR? Because I imagine if you do that, would probably be your era, right?
No nostalgia.
Gordon and co.
No, nothing. I learned F1 when I moved there, like 12, 13 years ago, from sitting in sports bars eating chicken wings. But no nostalgia, no.
I
fancy chicken wings now.
I think they do them at Domino's, don't they?
Or
I saw chicken strips, yeah.
Awesome.
The IR18 is receiving an update. It's going to feature wet tyres. It was one of the later cars to get wet tyres. We're not going to get the hybrid system, so they introduced hybrids in real life for the IR18 in the middle part of last season, I believe. But with them working on that still with the GTPs as well, they're going to delay that for a future season. But I think the car's been rebuilt slightly, and yeah, wet tyres is going to be a challenge.
Yeah, 100%.
It's quite a drivable car though, to be fair, in the dry. Like, it's not an awful car when it comes to traction.
So the IR18 is the car with the soft hard option already, isn't it?
Yeah, or primary option.
Prime, yeah. I love that word, prime. I said it though recently in a chat, and I got called old.
Yeah,
because I called the F1 soft the prime
Oh,
tyre.
really? But that's not the prime tyre.
You know what I mean.
I mean, awful naming convention, right? Like, how I talk about making your sport more accessible. That's not going to be good when someone who knows what they're talking about going, oh yeah, they're going to go on the alternate tyre. How's a new fan meant to know what that is? So.
But no, wet IndyCar. I assume that is just for road. I don't believe Rain has any plans to come to oval. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, in real life, do they run short ovals in the wet now? Yeah. But only in NASCAR, I think.
Yes, and not the big ones. No way.
No. I think the smallest oval that IndyCar goes to is like Richmond. So yeah, that would be too fast, I think, for the wet. They've got the Gen 7 update as well, which I think is the current Cup cars. And they got a new tyre model for those Cup cars. So
That doesn't mean anything to me. So I don't know what a 6 is or a Gen 5 is.
they've got of course, this is going to be very big, the new GT3 tyre model. And they've also seemingly reworked the GT3s as well. So it's not just the tyres, but I think they've changed a lot of elements on them. Some of the headline elements that they're aiming for all sound good. Less peak tyre temps when sliding. So if you slide for a corner, your tyres aren't done for the next half lap because they're overheated. You're going to have much colder tyres out of pits, which is going to mean that your fastest lap is now going to be on lap 4 or 5 instead. These are realistic things that or things that are going to recreate realism, but until we actually see it, it's difficult to know.
Ranty point. It is realistic that lap 4 or 5 is, can I use the word? Yeah, it's prime. Perfect. That was the right usage.
Sure.
It is realistic. Coming out of the pits in an endurance race on stint 5, putting some new tyres, your tyres should be cold. Lap 4 or 5 will be prime. I agree. Clap. It's not realistic hugely when it matters, in qualifying and in the race. So qualifying. In real life, lap 4 or 5 is prime. Correct. In real life, they lap and lap and lap and do a lap and do a lap and their quality's done. Very realistic.
Yep.
In the race, they spend a couple of laps under the safety car lapping to get their tyres prime so that, again, the race is prime. In iRacing, you have 8 minutes and 2 laps in qualifying. So that now means the out lap is cheese. The first push lap is warmer cheese, and then you get 1 lap. Still probably not prime tyre.
Sure.
In the race, even worse. Say Spa, GT Sprint. You start on the back straight just before that, the last, what's it called? The bus stop. Right? So you've got 15 foot of driving, right, left, green, green, green.
Sure.
If someone tells me that's realistic, they don't own a TV and never been to a race.
Sure.
I don't understand. Now, if the reason it has to be this way is because that's the way GTP is. They haven't fixed it for GTP. They're not addressing it for GTP. We start races on super unrealistic tyres.
Yeah, it'd be so easy for them just to make it so that you start with solid temperatures
But then
come the
people
start of the race.
come in crying that it's not realistic. So the only way to fix it is, all right, fine, quali's half an hour, and every start of the race,
get 2 laps.
yeah. And the start of every race, you do 2 to 3 laps under the safety car. A bit boring, but we've got to pick our battles. This is getting insane. Like, I flat out refuse to drive GTP at the moment. At the moment, I'm in a really bad place of it because the racing, because you're spending more of your focus and practice on those first corners on ice tyres. Because that is the single most challenging thing I've done in sim racing in 5 years. Rain, I can take T1 at Spa. Like, it's super easy for me on a brand new set of freezing cold wet tyres. On the dry tyre, I'm petrified.
Yep.
Petrified. My worry is I'm sure the racing's going to be okay. I'm sure it's not going to be, because of the aero balance, I'm sure it's not going to be as scary on lap 1 of the race. My annoyance probably is going to come in qualifying. On practice won't be your lap. Practice will be on the cheese.
Sure.
How can I get this tyre closer to its lap 4-5 performance than its lap 1-2 performance? And I think people who learn, it's not nice to learn. I think that's the point, right? I want to be practicing the lapping and the braking and not practicing how to cheese.
Yeah. When I raced in, well, we both raced in the Porsche Cup car quite a bit.
Yep.
And that's sort of similar.
Correct.
Sense. I think in our series, it's a bit more lenient because, well, at least in my series, I had like 10 minutes. I could set as many lap times as I wanted. I'm not sure how it was for yours. But yeah, those drivers will know what's up when it comes to that.
So as a quick question to people in chat and people listening know, for example, can you tell me roughly how many outlaps you did for PEC GB qualifying? Like, to do the qualifying lap to earn your right placement into the series, how many outlaps were you doing before a push?
Oh, so it was sort of different for us because we were limited on fuel. But it was 2 laps around Silverstone National, which is a short
Oh, okay, you
circuit,
only doing 2.
but very strategic. You're
Okay.
running at 100 kilometers. You're weaving from one side of the track to the other
Yep.
side. And if we had more fuel,
Yep.
then because you have 12 laps of fuel and it's a 10-lap average, so we could only do 2 laps.
Yep.
But your first lap was still your slowest lap. So we would have probably done 3 or 4 laps in order to get the peak performance out of it.
It's tough. Look, I'm not saying I know what the answer is, but all I want to get... Look, and don't get me wrong, the scary super cold ice tyres, mid-endurance, it's brilliantly realistic. It's going to be the scariest thing you do. Daytona, especially, like, you're navigating those tight, twisty infield corners on... I mean, I cannot underestimate on a low downforce setup how hard it is. And you're going to be your GT3s are going to be passing you. Again, very realistic, very difficult. My annoyance just comes for qualifying and it just ruining the start of a race. Pablo Lopez, really good driver. Really, really good driver. At Pescal Stars on the out lap, he bins it. I mean, it gave me first. But, he's not the caliber kind of driver who's been in it. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't doing any warm-up strats. Just binned it on the out lap.
Yeah.
We're going slow. So I just hope all this pain that I've been having recently with the GTP way of doing it doesn't transpose over to GT3. I can't pick. Yeah, the lap 4-5 thing has me worried because hello qualifying. What do you want us to do? Like, it sounds like the more cheese you do, the faster you're going to go. I don't want that.
Yeah,
I lived through Brake Dragon, where I'm rocking up to a Fro fix race. It's 2.6k soft. And I'm wondering why the qualifying times, like, what are they doing? Load the replay. I'm like, oh my God, they're just brake dragging the whole outlap.
Yep.
8/10. Like, come on. Yeah, anyway, rant ended.
The Lotus 79 and Super Formulas are also getting rain tyres, as well as the IndyCar, which is good. Now that my series have ended, I do need to make a decision on what I'm going to pursue. I think it is either going to be the IndyCar or the Super Formula or the Super Formula Lights.
Yep.
So this has very much put the Super Formula and the IndyCar up my list in terms of that. So that does sound
Super
fun.
Formula, yeah, the Super Formula and the Super Formula Light, I think, are fantastic cars. I think it's undersold. I think the Super Formula Light is my favourite. I mean, actually, it's way above. It's really out there. It's one of my favourite Formula cars. And the Super Formula drives better than any attempt they've made to bring an F1 car into the...
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
And we have a sim racing celebrity in chat. Hello, Dave. Mr. Dave Gam.
Hello, Dave, and everyone else as well in chat. Let us know any thoughts you have.
Well, there's a lot of chat about the tyres, and yeah, it's tough. And like I say, I don't want it to go. I'm sorry, I'm going back to the rant. I don't want it to go because that endurance thing, it's brilliant. It's scary as hell. But if it's like it in real life, I'm game. I honestly am game. I just want qualifying to be about, can you do the lap, not the cheese? And the start of the race, it's just ruining too many races. Sure, when it works in your favour, and like I've gone into Spa T1 and there's prototypes everywhere. And I'm like, this is the best game. I love this. And I've had times where I see one spinning and I'm like, ha ha. And then I go to turn, I'm like, oh no, I hate this game. But yeah, let's see.
Well, the F4 has got the new tyres as well. So that's a good news that there'll be no lap 1 issues in that series now with cold tyres.
Oh,
that's good to hear.
For sure. Yeah. It's going to be interesting because the F4 is popular in the esport, I suppose GT3s, but it's for the
the FIA F4 series is of course got announced recently. So
that announcement came when it was on the old tyre, and they might have done 26 billion laps prep, and now all that's gone.
The BMW M4 has been changed to the EVO version.
Yeah, that was a quiet announcement. I just hope it fundamentally fixes the few weird quirks in that car. Like, I've seen some footage and some telemetry. It's just a bit of a broken car. When it's fine, but it's a bit of a broken car. I'd like to see it. Hopefully, it's just fixed.
Oh yeah, no hybrid update for GTP. We did touch on this a little bit earlier on.
So it wasn't actually mentioned in the notes at all, unless it's been added in past. But here, Greg, someone asked him in the forum, and Greg just admitted, I completely blanked. We wanted to let you know that we're just working that little bit harder on it. I mean, I do not envy them on the BOP side of it. The BOP's hard enough with GTP. There's already a lot of them. And now you've got this whole, proper deployment. I'd be interested to see. Be really interested to see. Plus, I do wonder, with the new GTP hybrid update, one thing that I know from LMU is if you brake and you have 100% recharge, then your brakes aren't regenning and the braking phase is awful.
Okay, right, sure.
In LMU, you really don't want to get to 100. You can get to 90 odd, but you want to set your deployment in such a way where you're not getting back to 100. Because I've had lots of issues and people have let me know, yeah, your charge was at 100. And I'm like, what? That's a good thing, surely. So that's going to be interesting as well, to see how the iRacing manages it.
Yeah, it seems like it's a very large rebuild when it comes to the GTPs in order to introduce those hybrid elements. There's been a VR update. I looked at VR and the notes that they made, I didn't understand it. Did you understand?
No, I think it was more, you've got all this millions of pounds from Pimax being invested in MU. I think iRacing was like, oh, we haven't said VR recently.
Sure.
So we're still, I think they're basically just saying, look, this isn't something we got working and now we're leaving it. We're working with manufacturers and bringing new versions and not looking to optimize it. I don't know of any, I haven't done VR and iRacing in a while, but I don't know of any pending issues or problems.
No, we occasionally see people, don't we, on AOL GT3 or whatever with the webcams and they've got their...
I think overlays is always the thing they cry, that it's just not well handled, like
Sure.
keeping track of things in VR maybe. Yeah, and next update. This is the one I'm excited about. Well, then again, this is like the 9th time they've told me. But that's the wet to dry transition and visually seeing, let's face it, what's actually happening. It feels like they've done a lot of work on the physics between dry to wet to dry. That's good. They've done a lot of work on the visuals from dry to wet and wet to dry. I'm not dissing any of that. What I'm saying is those two ain't correlating at all. I have done thousands of rep races. How many times I've been out there on dry tires and you've got people boxing and I have to just trust my instincts. I know this track ain't as wet as it's... I see the spray and I see everything and it looks, this is bad, but it ain't. I've got loads of grip. It's fine. And yeah, then if the rain starts dying down and slowly starting to... I mean, they're thinking it's going to come to me. It ain't coming to you. No, it is a dry...
You've got to purely judge it on how it feels rather than how it looks.
Yeah, and then I've had the opposite where I'm like, well, track looks fine. You go into T1 like, what? Like, what did I just experience?
Yeah. I mean, when we were covering AOLTC last week at Brands Hatch, it seemed pretty good for that. Like, in terms of that was sort of dry to moderately wet. And it did seem fairly intuitive as to, okay, there's a little bit of spray there, so they've lost a bit of time. But it did genuinely look about correct.
Yeah.
In terms of that. So maybe it's, like you said, just certain windows where it does work, but then if it falls out of that.
Yeah, I can't explain it. Bathurst, I had it for the 12-hour. I was doing qualifying. It was the most... Well, obviously, because it's a team race as well, you feel like you've got a lot riding on you. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. I had good pace, but it was raining, sure. It weren't raining when I actually did the Q lap, and the track looked dry. Honestly, I couldn't see a single puddle, any spray at my rearview mirror. Yeah, honestly, hardest lap of my life. Just, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Because obviously your teammates looking like, you should be pushing. Like, guys, I'm really trying. Like, there's no grip. So I hope, like I say, I think they've done all the work. I think the track can feel every part of condition that we need, and it can look every condition that we need. I think the correlation just needs to be there now. And not just that, the spray, the visibility. Where was I racing not that long ago? Anyway, I couldn't see. I couldn't see a thing. Where was it? Must have been better. No, it doesn't matter. Visibility just needs to be better. If spray keeps its intensity, we just need better lighting. That's the thing that's inferior in iRacing. It shouldn't be just the bulb that glows. Even the spray should be red. You know, like we need more interactive how the light bounces. That's the big comparison with real life. You can tell that the spray just went red. That's probably the brake lights. Whereas in iRacing, you just can't see it until you hit them. But I'm excited. Let's pray they nail that. It doesn't look like it's easy. And they've admitted a few mistakes. Like they recently found a bug, I'm sure you know, when if you left the session and rejoined, you are now very out of sync. You might see it dry and the track's got puddles, and you'd feel them and hear them, but not see them. I think that's all fixed.
Yeah. Also, for future updates, they were talking about the UI, the new UI, in-sim UI, is in the testing stage. So it's like built, but they are doing some tests on it. So that will not be.
I still don't like the look. I saw the pictures.
It's not particularly good. It's still the same design pretty much as what it was before.
Our chat lets me know it was Spa. Yes, Spa. I couldn't see a thing. But I think obviously the problem is lighting is going to cost FPS. We don't have spare FPS at the moment. Unless they're going to give away 5090s.
iRacing are retiring a few circuits as well, which is going to mean that they can no longer be used for like replays and stuff like that.
Yeah, even if you've got an old replay file, you're going to have to save it out like to an MP4 because people underestimate what iRacing mean by retiring the car. They mean serious. Like, yeah, even an old replay file will just be like, we don't have that track.
Yeah.
So you make sure you grab that out. Yeah, so Charlotte Motor Speedway, Richmond, Sonoma, Worldwide Tech Raceway, the Gateway, Charlotte Motor Speedway. The old one's completely going, and so's Lime Rock. Some of my first races are now at a track that's no longer on the sim.
When did you join again? Sorry, it was 2018. Because I'm just trying to think when the Lime Rock update came. You sure that it was on the OG?
Let me see. I will check my YouTube.
I'm being personally, I'm being like a.
It was. My first was Jefferson in the MX-5. Yeah, what a rookie track. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I did Jefferson. I haven't driven it since, and I don't want to.
Oh dear, October 10th, 2019 was my first.
I feel like the new Lime Rock was out. Do you remember the new Lime Rock coming out?
I think I remember it coming out, yeah.
Okay, so maybe you were just before it then, in that case.
Yeah, I think I joined August.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But yeah, like, I'm not... Of course, the Charlotte as well is the old, saying that we're getting a new one. As well. So, yes, that is probably not going to affect a million people. I guess Sonoma, there's going to be a lot of replays, right? I mean, that circuit's been used for the last 18 years, so there's going to be a lot of classic stuff from that. Richmond as well, I guess. I don't think that's ever been rescanned as far as I'm aware.
I mean, when they retire, they do go on popularity, and they're not just killing tracks because they're bored. Like, keeping them up to date is time costly, the tyre models and the asphalt, because the asphalt models have moved along quite many times. If you've ever driven like Silverstone Legacy, you can feel the difference in grip and how it washes over. And obviously when they commit to rain, some of these tracks they're going to cost them more time and work. So I get why they do this.
Should we move on from iRacing?
What person? Oh, okay, yeah.
Big announcement, guys. Apex are no longer AOL. Forget it.
Yeah.
It's all them announcement now.
#Sim.
Asetek have released their Forte Formula Pro Sim Racing wheel. This is a pretty cool wheel from what I can establish, because this is their second tier Forte. And it looks really, really nice. So they've got a display, which is the same display as what they've got from their Invicta, which is their like highest quality range, which is a 60 hertz 800 by 480 resolution. And it's got all the changeable elements of it, so you can make it into a prototype wheel or you can make it into a single-seater wheel. And the cost of it, also the other negative, it's only got 2 paddles on the back rather than 6 paddles, so no hand clutch or anything. However, it's only 630 euros, which is, I think, a very good deal, which is almost half of what the Invicta is, which, considering it's got the same display on it and seemingly made from similar materials, it's pretty good.
There's a few things I like and a couple of standouts that many companies do wrong. So those flick left and right switches at the top, above the speak and rad button, I haven't seen those since the Cube CSX2. No wheel company's done those since. They're really helpful for streaming, something like that, like deafen and mute, like audio controls where you got visual cue. They follow in a very ergonomic line. The only 2 standouts, those joysticks, or the multi-function, what are they called? The joystick things. What's the word?
I wrote some words down. Rotary?
No, encode. The funky switches. Thank you.
Funky.
They're a little bit too far to the left. So they're not on that like you can't just rotate your thumb down and get to them. You have to adjust, which is it's okay for some. And those bottom slider rotaries a little bit going to be you're going to have to sort of remove your hand to use them. But there are enough buttons in the ergo range that seem good. I hope you can click those Forte rotaries inwards. I think it's so good when they're doubled as buttons. It looks good. It does look really good. I like the fact it's a thin design as well. Big old bezels, but it does support the RPMs and the lock and TC lights. So yeah, I think that's a really good value for money. Crazy that they've got a display for that price.
Yeah. Yeah, not too many other brands offering much better value for money than that. Pre-orders are open now, so do check that out. I think also Traction as well have got like a discount code, so do check out their website to maybe get like 10% off. Logitech McLaren G Challenge Summer Season 2025 is coming to Forza Motorsports.
Yep, well, we got a video, but it's 50 grand prize, Paul. I think the video is short enough for us to feature.
Yes.
This jumps around from sim to sim, right? But I think, or was it always? Yeah, because we've had it in iRacing. I've turned up to one of these.
Yeah. You can win a VIP tour of the McLaren Technology Centre, and there's also 50 grand of prize money at stake.
Yes, this is once a year. Well, they do lots of challenges. They've done, I think, ACC. I've done the iRacing one. I'm trying to think. I did one years back with TK as well. I can't remember what. But yeah, it's good to see. It's another prize pool, so we'll see who wants to play Forza. It's been a while.
Yeah, you go via the Rivals playlist to enter the driver sweepstakes. So do that if you want to.
Easy money.
F1 25, driving the Apex GP movie car. Yes, as a team we are in.
Yeah, we are in.
F1 25, and
even mentioned
not
my
too
name.
soon, I would argue.
Yeah. There's a short video of just their trailer advertising the car.
If there's I haven't seen the trailer. If there's spoilers in this, I'm going to be very upset.
I don't believe there's spoilers.
I hate movie spoilers.
No, I don't think so. Apologies. Close your eyes, Sam. Just in case. No, I don't think there's any real-life footage. So they're pushing this game. This game-movie collaboration this is going to be huge.
Yeah, yeah. So you can like drive scenes from the film.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Again, seeing a lot of stuff from Miami and Abu Dhabi. I do know that the season finale race is held at Miami. Is held at Abu Dhabi in the film.
Yes, there you go. Obviously brought to you by Apex, the movie car. But yes, so the car, the IRL car, built on a Dallara F2 chassis with the custom Mercedes-AMG bodywork, 3.4-litre V6 Metachrome engine, 620 brake horsepower. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this 3 episodes in a row, but I mean, they're going to make some money, aren't they?
Yeah. Looking forward to it. We're about, what, 4 weeks away from it being released, so yeah, certainly we'll be going. We'll certainly give our thoughts on the film. The drivers actually watched it the other day, and I think we were discussing it earlier on, weren't we?
Yep.
And Max was too busy doing sim racing, so he
Yeah, he had a red line stream to do, you know.
Yeah, so that took priority.
All the drivers are there. Like you had Sainz, you had Alonso.
And it's in like Monaco probably as well. So it's like next door.
Yeah, for those who don't know, they got to watch the first screening of the movie, and it was a private arranged F1 thing. All the drivers, and Max is like, "No, I'm good. I've got I've got a stint.
Yeah,
I've got to go and stream." Yeah.
Do you think any of the drivers are film people? I don't think sports people are genuinely film people. I think they're more music, because I think for these people, sitting down for 2.5 hours is almost too long. Their schedules are so busy, and they're traveling all the time, that I don't think it. So I don't think any of them were cared that much.
For them, it must be a bit cringy to watch, because like we think we spot details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sainz said that it will be a bit like how Drive to Survive is perceived.
Sure.
In terms of, but I don't like Drive to Survive because of the lies. It's the fake narrative, and then that is put upon drivers in the real world, where the documentary sets them up as one type of person and doing certain types of things, and then that person has to live with that, even though it's just a fictional thing. That's whereas at least this is fictional completely, so it's not going to have that.
The one takeaway I liked from Drive to Survive was we got to see a bit more of behind the scenes and the management, how they react, even the swearing, the energy. You know, we always see Christian Horner quite cold, composed. Drive to Survive, it was like, that's the one piece I appreciated, seeing more their story.
Sure.
But yeah, I couldn't stand the fake rivalries and all this weirdness and them, like telling truths but aligning them differently. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah. No, I really don't like that. So if you have F125, you can try that feature out.
Well, I imagine you got to buy the expensive version.
Oh yeah, it's the premium version.
You can't be spending 59 and get that car.
No, it's 90 quid. So
yeah,
make sure to buy that. It says Corsa EVO.
Yeah, so we missed this. It's not new news, but we have been skipping some AC EVO news with the last couple of updates. But there was a trailer for Gamescom. Yeah, I thought it was worth a watch. It's a good trailer. Some of their content's been good. And I say we've been skipping a few of their recent updates with small patch releases. But yeah, this is their game trailer for Gamescom.
A very, very big fan of this trailer. Some very nice transitions are implemented into this. It feels like a Gran Turismo 3 trailer.
Sure.
And I'm not complaining about that.
No, neither here.
But yeah, a lot of freedom when it comes to the camera that they use, and demonstrating all the different cars and lots of different tracks. A wide variety of liveries on those Porsches, but
yes, indeed. And obviously, it's coming round quick. September, we're going to have 1,000 new sims to contend with.
Yeah. I might say, no, I didn't actually make a note of it, but talking of new sims coming in September, Rensport has been confirmed for September.
I heard console release has been confirmed.
Yeah, I didn't actually make a note of that. I didn't think it was that.
Well, we can talk about that in 1 second, because I've got actually a similar subject on that. Yeah, the transition. Yeah, this looks good. Oh, netcode. Unless he just lost it on his own. Yeah, look at that. I mean, the graphics are stunning, don't get me wrong.
They do look phenomenal.
Oh, stop showing us the free drive. I want to do this so bad. And when I get the mission for like collecting the pizza for a free body work upgrade, mate, I live for that. Driving and pizza. Like my worlds are colliding. Yeah, so Sam mentioning that Rensport confirming their console release for the same date as every other game this year. That's Namco, isn't it? Namcon, the publisher of Rensport game.
Namco is AC, I think.
No.
I might be wrong. It's like is it a Polish company? I think it's the Rensport one.
We are doing live research. Come on. Namcon is Rensport.
Cool.
Nacon. So Nacon are also working on another sim title we have coming soon. Well, it's not sim. They've already confirmed that it's more going to be about. Anyway, again, the endurance. What's it called? The endurance motor. Endurance motorsport. There's an endurance game coming.
Yeah, well, the one where it's half that you're the team engineer and half that you're the
Endurance
driver.
Motorsport Series.
Yeah.
So these are the same people that are publishing the Rensport title, where you can compete in 24-hour races, but you can pause the game. You can transition back to the management side of the things. I think it was Traction or Overtake. Apologies, I can't remember who. They got some time on the sim to drive it. Looked good, like you'd expect, driving Spa. Some things weren't done, like curb contacts weren't, happening. They weren't there. Sure. There were some things missing. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. We've got a lot. So we've got Endurance Motor Series, Rensport, AC EVO.
The Mon Ultimate.
The Mon Ultimate. I feel like there's something else I'm forgetting. iRacing 2. No. Yeah, it's going to be a busy time. By Christmas, we will know a lot more.
Yes. Max Verstappen won a Grand Prix, but more importantly, he also won his iRacing race at Nürburgring in the 4-hour endurance series that they
the NEC.
So he jumped into that, and it seemed to help him quite a bit. Unfortunately, Crofty wasn't doing the commentary for the weekend, so he didn't have an opportunity to criticize Max for it, but. Of course, that's 2 years in a row that Max has raced on iRacing before the Imola Grand Prix, and 2 years in a row that he's won the Imola Grand Prix.
Yeah, how can you compete with that? You can't. And some drivers probably go home and play FIFA, but because it's not online and thousands of people are watching, just because nobody's watching what you do, Max is competing in a competitive race environment where he struggles to win, and then he does F1.
Yeah.
Jeez. I bet you practiced more for the NEC, and probably he was probably griding up at him and thinking, "Break Bison T1 if I really." So he's like, "Oh, I've got to do this first. Let's get this out the way."
Yeah, by Piastri.
Yeah, by Piastri. Move off.
Okay, now I'm in clean air. I can just concentrate on that. Okay, yeah. Okay, what am I going to be doing? Can we push it 13 laps for the 2 stints, or are we going to have to pit earlier than that? Sorry, move of the season, but move of how many years I've ever seen. Yeah,
it was impressive.
The one that it reminded me of was Singapore 2013. Alonso, I think, went from 7th to 3rd. Just drove around the outside of everyone at Singapore.
Yeah.
That was a great move. But this was for the lead, and I don't think I can think of any other driver who would have pulled that move off.
Because it was too far back. Wasn't on. Being opportunistic's one thing, but this was. I mean, people underestimate how committed that was. And we mentioned this earlier when we was chatting. You can't want to finish a race and race Max Verstappen at the bleeding edge. Piastri's checking mirrors. What are you doing? You can't. You just can't. If you're going to race Max Verstappen, you have to show it's my corner. I'm turning. We'll settle this when our cars are upside down.
Yeah.
But no one seems to want to do that with Max yet. Hamilton, because Hamilton spent the season complaining. I would have, he would have, I would have, he would have. Yeah, but you didn't. You didn't crash.
Yeah, like you think of how many incidents Max gets involved in, but how many penalties he gets because he's able to position his car in a place where either Yeah, where he has got the rights to the corner. He
Well-
reads the rules more than anyone else.
Correct. But what a move.
Yeah,
what a
incredible
move.
stuff.
I mean, the best moment about it all was George Russell
Yeah.
on the radio screaming like, "What is Piastri doing?" Like,
Although after the race, Piastri, like Russell was so weird because he was like, "Oh well, Oscar could have moved to the right before T1 and blocked in Max." And it's like, yeah, but you would have gone past Bud. Like Piastri's not going to give up the inside line, is he? Like, what do you expect him to do? So
yeah.
to be fair to George, it was in the car. It's difficult to see
For sure.
when you're in the car, but yeah, he should maybe watch what he says when he's out of the car. So yeah, great work from Max. Also, was mentioned Webber Alonso, this Spa overtake Webber was a great move, to be fair.
Oh, the Webber Alonso, yeah. Webber around the outside, yeah?
Yeah, inside into the outside.
Inside into the outside.
Yeah,
Yeah, brilliant move.
So,
But those two drivers, especially Webber and Alonso, always very respectful racers. Like, you're getting space, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a move. All-time move, mine is still the Hakkinen and Schumacher.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a move for the lead as well. And
Yeah.
it was a move for the lead for the championship
Yeah.
as well. I mean, had he won that championship, Hakkinen by a couple of points, that would have been an even more legendary move because it would have been the decisive moment.
Yeah.
Apex Racing team, we did compete slightly in Indy 500 last week. Pete took part, but I think had a little bit of a tough time of it. I think it's much more tricky on the open set when you're following people compared to the fixed set when there's a lot more grip. And so he washed out into the wall, I think, in the early stages, had a lot of damage and decided to call it quits.
I mean, we'd like to mention he did win the fixed top split main time slot race. He's a beast.
Yeah.
There's no one better at it.
So,
But yeah, open, you don't spend any time driving on the week's build up. You spend everything in the setup. That's it.
Yeah.
It's all it's about, if we're honest.
Or I also gave it a go.
Oh yeah, of course. You didn't win again.
How did I do?
How did you do?
I'm trying. Give me a second. I'm trying.
Wait,
to remember
last time
how
I
did.
oh, for God's sake! Last time I spoke to you, you won the Indy 500.
How did I do? So I was second split on the Sunday race because everyone was watching the Formula One, and then so I started 28th, and then I got to like 19th, and then I spent a while there, and then I got up the stages, so I was up into second, and then there was a caution. Sorry, I'm really struggling to just recall what happened. There was a caution with about 15 to go, so I pitted for fresh tyres, so I was 7th. And then I drove up to the back of the pack, and I got to 6th, and I got to 5th, I got to 3rd,
Nice.
and I got to 2nd,
Oh.
and then I took the lead on the last lap, and I won the race. So double.
Back to back Indy 500
Well,
wins.
If we forget the one that I did last week as well for the fixed series. So I didn't win that one. I did crash out of that one. But yeah, that's 2 Indy 500 wins now for me in consecutive years. So
Wow.
absolutely immense final couple of that. I'll show you the replay.
Yes, I want to see it. That's mega,
afterwards.
mate. Congrats.
But yeah, it was a big, I was really pleased. I was really pleased that I won because yeah, those final few laps were hectic, even more hectic than last year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you won fixed last year.
I can't even remember what I won last year. I need to have a look back. I thought it was open, but I certainly only did one of the weeks. So yeah, I'm not actually sure which one I won.
That's mega.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. R1 is coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's a big one for us.
It is a big one for us. We very nearly, of course, got into division or is it Group 2 or Group B? Group B. We nearly got into Group B last time. We nearly got promoted, but we slightly missed out to Williams, so Williams got promoted. But if we can, again, stay in Group C for another week, then that will be good. We really want to avoid Group D, obviously, because the bottom 2 teams from Group D in the last round get eliminated, so we don't want there to be a risk of us being that.
100%. If we go up, I think we're guaranteed.
If we go up, yeah, that'll be sold. Yeah, yeah.
If we stay, it's still looking really promising. Unless it's TC who go up, then the fight continues. But if we stay up and TC go down, then it's looking pretty good. But basically, I just told Jamie, just win.
Yeah.
Like all this math, just win
Yeah.
your races.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I know.
Last
You're a
week I won
machine.
a championship and an Indy 500, so it's just drive faster.
Yeah.
So
No, that's mega. Hello to Kenny in chat.
Paul Levelswear and Corentin Lazine have both joined Apex Racing Academy. So welcome to them. They are now accomplices of David in the academy team.
I know Corentin Lacina well from racing. I host every Monday. I do like a bop or a prep for the week, and Corentin's always there. So the second he was announced, I DM'd him, picture his announcement, congratulated him, and laughed because I said, "Now you can't hide your setup from me. It's mine now. I win." I'm really pleased. I don't know much about Paul, but yeah, it's good to see up and coming drivers. Corentin's a very impressive driver.
Yes, yeah, really good recruitment. Also an ARL driver as well. He's taken part in a season of Porsche Cup. He's taken part in a season of GT3 Trophy as well. So cool to see someone that we're familiar with. In terms of Apex Racing League, speaking of GT3 Trophy, it is returning. We haven't opened sign-ups yet. We will open sign-ups tomorrow, but we've got some tracks. Unfortunately, we won't be covering it. Well, we could cover it, but it will be on Tuesday. It won't be a studio broadcast.
Right.
It'll
Okay.
be a Tuesday one, which will still be good viewing. But we've got Daytona. We have Watkins Glen. We have the new Sonoma. I thought that would be nice to include in there. We've got Spa, Mosport, VIR, Road America, Manucourt, Interlagos, and Road Atlanta for a 10-round season.
It's a good schedule. What's that cherry picked from IMSA and GT3?
Yes, apart from Sonoma, because there was no other circuits that week. Because we start on week 1 on a Tuesday. So it's a bit of an awkward way to start the season. And it will be in the newly worked GT3 car. So one of the rules that we've implemented is that you can change your car up to round 3. You don't have to pick your car during week 13 and then stick with that for 10 weeks. You can pick your car and then have a free car change.
So it's going to be like a
week 3.
Really epic mix, like week 1, week 2 would be so cool. And then week 4, everyone's in an Acura.
Yeah. But, that's the fastest car.
It's still the fastest.
We'll all change for that.
Yeah, brilliant.
So, yeah, look forward to that. But yeah, like you said, the first few weeks are going to be chaotic with drivers trying to figure out.
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to re-rant, but yeah, I'm looking forward to trying them, see what the balance is like and where the speed is. Yeah.
That I think is everything that I had to talk about.
Yeah, it was a lot to talk about actually. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's see. We've got lots of sims coming out. iRacing's big update. I can't find many people excited about the Ferrari 296 challenge, and I think really because it underpins the series. It's a 15-minute, it's D-class, it's every half an hour. But I'm excited to try the car. I think less aero, I quite like. I still miss the GTE days, so it sounds good to me. It sounds really good. I wish there was more of a... I mean, it's not realistic, but I would love to see a GTE return. I just don't like ABS, man.
GT2? Sounds like you want a GT2 car, more power, less downforce.
Yeah, but the brakes are a bit, if I remember right, a bit less race car-y. If I remember the GT2 brakes, they're a bit more like a GT4 brakes, which are okay, but it just feels like, no. No, I've had more time to think about it. No, thanks. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks to Apex Racing Academy once again for sponsoring this episode. Do check out apexracingac.com in order to get those setups for the GT3 cars, which are going to be very, very important come the new season. If you've enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like on YouTube or leave a 5-star rating, preferably on iTunes or Spotify or anything like that. And of course, recommend the podcast to any of your friends or anyone who you think might be interested. Subscribe to Apex Racing TV as well. And of course, we'll be checking in on the Apex Racing League Touring Car Britain 2025 later on at Snetterton. No rain forecast for today, which will feel slightly unusual. So that will be a really good round from there. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, and from David Sampson, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you back next time.
Ciao.